5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. You remember?
It really seems like recently it's been every day, like for the last 3, 4, 5 days. Let's just find a different way to talk shit about the Flash. And you know what? Today will be no different. Again, we're talking shit about a movie I've not even seen. I just don't. I've got something against this movie, and I don't know why. There's probably multiple factors for it, but I don't know. The people who love it were always gonna love it and will love it. But another L take. Yesterday I was talking about the take of how like the director or the head of CGI or the DC CEO in general came out and was like, no, it didn't come out like that. That would have been irrelevant to the film of the Flash. But he came out and said, what did he say? Oh yeah, the CGI is bad on purpose, which is the biggest sort of just take the L, biggest sort of I was hacked, sort of my friends took my phone, kind of reasoning he's came up with there. It was on purpose. Oh, you didn't get it type thing. And today, sorry, I was reading something. And today, what's the excuses today? Oh, a lot of people's reviews, they're taking into account the visuals, the CGI, right, when they're scoring the movie. First point I saw. Which way? There's a guy, I can't remember his name. I should have got his name from Twitter. But there's this guy, on Twitter who talks about superhero movies and stuff, just gives his opinion, and he has the hottest / stinkiest worst takes of all time, and he's building up a reputation of being like this bad take guy who just says this bad take stuff or whatever. And he loves comic books and he's read comics and stuff. He's like a huge, like he'll like wear Captain America, like his wardrobe is just Captain America shirts with the shield on it, and like Marvel shirts, and like probably like just he just seems like his entire wardrobe is probably comics related, right? But apparently he just has these worst takes, and it feels like after a while people kind of get self-aware about that. Like Rory Jennings in a way, it's like they kind of play into it more because they can see it does well and it's better for them, so they lean into it even more heavy. But he made a shit take. I'm just trying to think which way around I want to talk about this. There's that, and I'll go this one first. First tweet I saw was, wow, critics getting real harsh with their scores for comic book movies now. And this is just something that bothers me in general. The what's the word? The like these bad superhero movie apologists just trying to deflect. Like it's just a Marvel movie. It doesn't have to be anything special. What did you expect? It's like, no, I still expect greatness. We had greatness. I expect it. There's no entitlement there. I expect it to be good. I think that's or at least it to feel like they tried to make it good. Like, yeah, I did. I think Infinity War was a peak at the time, sure, but I think the trough would be sold afterwards. No, yeah, there was a tweet of like superhero movies recently and how they've been getting like, or just talking in general about how critics get more and more and harsh with their reviews, and it's just like, sure, have reviews of superhero movies been lower recently? Yeah, but like when you're typing it out, does it not also cross your mind that maybe that's because they've also been worse recently? The correlation there, because they have been, and to an extent, I also do to that point. I feel like that Guardians 3 film comes out 5 years ago, maybe, 10 years ago, man, like 5 years ago. It would have been like Marvel movies at that point always getting 90s, even though they didn't deserve it. Like Ant-Man and the Wasp, a lot of people call like one of Marvel's most stale, boring films. 87% I was looking at it today, right? So like even like the more sleeper, stinkier ones at the time would still get high 80s, and now it's like it seems harder. So I get that point. For that Guardians film gets like an 82, and everyone was like loving it, and the audience score is really high. Similar with this Flash film, it's on like 69%, audience score really high or whatever. But like at the same time, to counter that point, like you could say Guardians, if it came out 5 years ago, it would have been the 90s, and I feel like it probably would have. but it didn't come out 5 years ago. It came out now, and like I like Rotten Tomatoes actually for the most part. You get the two sides of the coin, what the audience, the general people are thinking, the commoners, and you get what the snooty fucks are thinking. Who went to the school or got the degree or whatever it is, what they think about it, and like maybe they are getting more hot. Maybe both things can exist at once. Maybe they are getting more harsh. But at the same time, I think that's fair. 5 years ago, if it came out, maybe it's more groundbreaking movie. Times have changed. Things are evolved, and I think now you've got to do more. And that's good. You got to strive for more for them to get better. And I think that's fair. Because the film didn't come out 5 years ago. It came out today. And yeah. Also, there's just going to be moments like a critic's not going to care about Michael Keaton showing up being like, let's go nuts. They're just going to take it as what it is. Okay, here's a character from another franchise. Does it actually make sense for the story? Is the dialogue he's saying actually making sense in the script, or is he just saying it because you're basing so much of your enjoyment off of nostalgia and fucking fanfare and like he said the line, but they're just basing off of a movie as it is. And I think for the most part in recent times, I actually think in the past critics, it was almost like too inflated that I wouldn't take their reviews seriously because I felt like they were too high. I don't think I think Tom Holland actually did an interview where he says his favorite. He ranks his Spider-Man films from what his favorites are. I don't know if that was to shoot or as a film, but it was the same order as me. He put it Homecoming, then No Way Home, then Far From Home. Homecoming is just so solid and good on its own right, and obviously No Way Home, I love it, is amazing. But it's got all this extra stuff going into it, and there is like some things we let slide because it's just amazing as it is. And I probably enjoyed my experience of watching No Way Home for the first time more than Homecoming, but I just think like as a film, Homecoming is the best one, and I agree with that assessment. Why am I talking about this? Oh yeah, but Far From Home, which at the time when I saw it, I was like, this is just fun. I wish it was maybe a bit darker. I wish it maybe was a bit less goofy, but this is just fine. Like high 90s or 90 something percent Rotten Tomatoes, and you just think, wow, these are high. I think now they're actually, I trust the critic score more than you wouldn't score in superhero movies, because it's like they don't react too much to all the nostalgia bullshit or like callback stuff, which like they just look at it as a film. I think it is more fair. And I think The Flash probably realistically is like a 70 at best % film. And if you like all this stuff, and the guy with the shit take, I can't remember his name. I want to say it's something Ramos. It'll be probably in the title because I would have found it. Actually, will I be able to find that quickly? I don't think so. But I think like it's something maybe like Justin Ramos or something. But he was like, he put like a bunch of clips up, images, screenshots from old films which had bad CGI, and then said CGI didn't used to impact your viewing experience back then, so why did people all of a sudden let it impact the scores they give now? First of all, did you work on the Flash film? Why are you so protected about what other people like? If it gets 4% on Rotten Tomatoes, did you love it? Sure. Why do you care then if critics didn't think it was great? Because people love to dunk on critics, and it's like, look, they are probably snobby or pretentious, but like it's just their opinions, so ultimately, why do people care or like think there's an issue with critics giving stuff really low ratings and other things really high ratings? It's just that way it is. First of all, that CGI you're referring to wasn't bad at the time. At the time it was like, wow, this is great. So you're not going to watch that and think this is bad CGI. At the same point, even if it looks great for the time, you're still looking at it and it doesn't look real. So, and just take you out of it so I can still see what you're saying. But then also, first of all, one of the screenshots you had in there was Spy Kids. So I'm taking it seriously. Another one of it's not like a big blockbuster Marvel as it is now, like franchise film, was Spy Kids. One of the other screenshots was, I can't remember what the other two were, but one was the Hulk film, not the MCU one, the green one before that. The tweet caption was, you get like bad CGI inhibit your viewing of these films back in the day, why now? Did Spy Kids sweep the nation in this Hulk film? did people like these films back then? Like I swear they have a bad rap for being, you know, goofy and shit. Spy Kids, maybe, yeah, you got some nostalgia for it because you was a kid, but like I don't think people were calling these the best films of an era back then. Not that they're calling them that now, but you know what I mean. And also, how can you not let CGI affect your score? It's like saying, oh, you're really gonna let the cinematography affect your score? Yeah, man. It's like visuals, sound, other shit. This is acting, dialogue, script. It's all part of the film. Yeah, my enjoyment of the film is going to be knocked down by if it looks like shit. Same way, if they film it on a fucking iPhone 3, I'm gonna knock it down and say, why does it look like that? You know, it was an artistic choice. It's like, okay, mate, but if I can tell for sure, it's definitely not. And also, if I don't like the artistic choice, it means nothing. That's such a weird point. You shouldn't care if the film looks like shit. Just enjoy the story. Okay, let's just get rid of the visuals as a whole. Then let me listen to the film on audiobook. Like, what are you going on about, man? And like, also, why are you defending these films so much? If something's bad about a film, call out. Like, why have we got to defend them as if we're on their payroll? Do we not want them to be bad? We're not all in this together, High School Musical style. We all want the same thing. We dream the same dream, you know. But then there's times when a bad film comes out, and people just love to defend the bad film or the bad CGI and say, why should, like, it's because people don't want to admit or like accept the fact. People hate the idea that superhero fatigue, which I don't agree with either. Like, if the films are good, people will watch them. Superhero fatigue would suggest that even if the film was amazing, you put out Across the Spider-Verse or something, people still wouldn't go see it because they're just bored of that genre. Obviously not the case. Everyone loved it and everyone said it's sick because it was good, right? So yeah, superhero fatigue's not a thing, but in the way they're suggesting it, it's like I have to defend all these bad movies just because people are only saying it to fit an agenda of superhero fatigue and they're actually not bad. It's like, no, stop defending this phase 4 bullshit and this bad DC stuff. Like, why? If they were putting in, like, if they're just rushing shit out, putting in, we're the mugs who are paying all the money, right? And it's not a lot of money, obviously, but it adds up over time. And paying for the, you know, subscription fees, and you're going for a cinema ticket all the time, and then you mugs. I mean, I ain't buying no fucking merch, but you know, people around there buying the fucking merch. You know, it's like, come on, man. And you know, people probably paying for like Comic-Con and stuff. There's probably a lot of things people are paying for, like really, really invested. But I don't know. It just, it's weird to me. I feel like maybe I'm saying as a joke, like, are you on the payroll? Maybe they are. Maybe some of these like sort of superhero influencer people who talk about these films and review them often, and like maybe not like on the payroll, but they got connections that give them like insight into certain rumors and stuff, and they got to like give a certain or the kind of bullshit. I don't know, but it's whack, yo, and I don't like it. We don't have to sit here and defend Eternals and what else, and like, I don't know, Marvel, all the TV shows and Flash and this new Aquaman film that's coming out, and Ant-Man, Quantumania, and Thor: Love and Thunder, and Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, and probably this new Marvel film that comes out. Sorry, I can't say I've got high hopes for that. Nothing about that interests me. It's really weird that some people are really looking forward to it, but not me. But you know, it is what it is, me. It is what it is. Like, there is zero chance I think I like that film. I think I'll probably like it more than Thor: Love and Thunder, because that wouldn't be hard, but I don't know. It's more the fact that the little ones in it, the little Asian one. I can't. They're all a different variation of Marvel. I can't remember their names. But is Monica Rambeau called something Marvel, or is she just Monica Rambeau? But like, there's Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel. That's a little one, and then is the black one another Marvel? Was it an active choice at the time to have them as a white woman, black woman, Asian woman, child, or was that just like? Because obviously they're all from. Was that like a thing they were like teeing up at the time, like, oh, this is just a great sort of multiracial thing. But I don't know. I just find her. I just don't like that. She's kind of. What's the word? What's that? What's it called? What's it called, man? Sorry, the music distracted me. CW. She's written CW ish, and the show was of CW level sort of budget, and like it's just like, why is this? I don't know. We will see though. We will see. Well, that didn't stop me shitting on the Flash. I haven't seen that yet, but we will see. Anyway, there's a couple other things, but I'll save it because I'm actually got to catch up and I'm one behind, so I'll save that for the other one. But yeah, I'm exhausted, tired, sweating in here. It's so freaking stuffy. It's definitely not. That's the thing. It's lovely and cool outside. Oh, I can tell it's just so cool out there, and it's just a fucking in here, man. But yeah, Dankeschön. I think that's thank you in German.
Here with the kids, and I have like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. Like,